Gather around, folks. I've got a story to share with you. Ever heard of Kit Carson? His name is one of those that seems to echo through time when we talk about the American West. He wasn't just a frontiersman, he was an explorer, a trapper, a scout, and even a legend in his own right. Let's dive into his life, his adventures, and the legacy he left behind. Kit Carson was born on Christmas Eve in 1809 in Madison County, Kentucky. But before you picture a cozy holiday scene, let me tell you, it was anything but. His family lived on the edge of the frontier, and when Kit was just a boy, they moved to Missouri, right where civilization met the untamed wilderness. That's where he learned to hunt, trap, and live off the land, skills that would shape his entire life. By the time he was 16, Kit was ready for adventure. He joined a caravan heading to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And that trip, it changed everything. Kit wasn't just along for the ride. He worked as a teamster, a cook, and a hunter. He soaked up everything he could about the ways of the West. It was his introduction to a life that would take him into the heart of the American wilderness. Now let's talk about his days in the fur trade. Kit joined up with Ewing Young's trapping expedition, and let me tell you, trapping was no picnic. Harsh winters, dangerous terrain, and encounters with wildlife and hostile groups made it a job for only the toughest. But Kit thrived. He became known for his grit, his knowledge of the land, and his ability to survive in places most people wouldn't dare go. One of the most fascinating chapters of Kit's life was his role in exploring the West. Between 1842 and 1846, Kit teamed up with John C. Fremont on expeditions to map uncharted territories. These weren't leisurely strolls through the woods, folks. These trips helped open the Oregon Trail and California Trail. Kit's expertise as a guide and his ability to negotiate with native tribes made him indispensable. Together, they crossed the Rockies, navigated the Great Basin, and reached California, blazing trails that would shape the future of the West. Kit wasn't just about exploration. He also played a key role in the Mexican-American War. As a scout and courier, he gathered intelligence and helped lead successful campaigns in California and New Mexico. His strategic mind and wilderness skills were vital to the American victory, which brought vast new territories into the United States. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Kit's relationships with Native American tribes were complicated. On one hand, he formed deep connections. He married 3 times, each to a woman from a different culture, including an Arapaho woman named Singing Grass and a Cheyenne woman named Making Out Road. These marriages gave him valuable insights into native cultures and strengthened his ties to the land. But it's not all rosy. Later in his life as an Indian agent, Kit played a role in enforcing federal policies, including the forced relocation of the Navajo people during the Long Walk. It's a tough part of his legacy, one that reminds us that history is rarely simple. Kit's later years were quieter but still impactful. He worked to mediate between settlers and native tribes, promoting peace in a time of turmoil. He passed away in 1868, but his legacy, it's still alive today. His name stands as a symbol of exploration, resilience, and the adventurous spirit that defined the American frontier. Kit Carson's story isn't just history, it's a window into a time when the wilderness wasn't just a place, but a way of life. He reminds us of the power of resilience, the call of adventure, and the complexities of living in a changing world. So what do you think? Could you have made it as a mountain man?